So 7:54, 6 minutes to 8. Thanks for tuning in. Friday, 14th of September 2012 for our final show. Alan has said that he has another surprise for us.
He's full of them today, isn't he?
Isn't he?
Is it dessert? Al?
Yes.
Okay, do we keep our eyes open?
No, yeah, keep the eyes open. It's not a Guess Who.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
fine.
It's a very special guest.
Very special guest. All right.
Who could it be?
I don't know.
Who's coming in the door?
Who is it?
Oh my goodness.
Ah, Richard Curtis.
Hello,
Good
hello.
morning. And Kevin, the big boss of the Comic Relief.
Charlie Curtis.
Hello, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
How are you, man? You all right?
Here we go.
Richard, you're very smartly dressed today.
I'm dressed for a funeral because you're leaving.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, I thought I'd dress sad, just in case the sadness didn't come over in my voice.
You sent me a lovely text the other day, and I don't know if I replied. I've had a lot of text messages in the last few days.
You're too important to reply
No, that's
to
not
me.
true. Don't say that. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. And I'm here to pay tribute to one of the greatest fundraisers in the history of Comic Relief and this entire team of extraordinary fundraisers.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Brought you here
Thank you.
a book, an actual book, which has just got pictures. It looks a bit like a weight loss manual, to be honest. It's a book of all the extraordinary work that you've done, and I'm going to be able to say in a second just how many millions of pounds you guys have raised over the years.
Thank you. Look at that. That's me on the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
On the one side, and then me and Dave before we did it. That was taken before.
That was the best we looked during that whole experience.
That was us pretending, thinking that's what we'd look like tired.
That's when you thought it was going to be funny.
The reality was we looked entirely different to that after 52 hours.
Yeah, I've never seen a person doing a good deed look angrier than Chris did by the end. That is the visual meaning of regret.
Yeah.
But actually, from the start of the show in 2004, we've done the Red Nose Rally, Rally-oke.
Rally-oke. God, there were some
Rally-oke.
filthy sounds in Rally-oke.
Wow, what?
Kilimanjaro,
Yeah.
52-hour marathon.
Yes.
Chaps and Dave.
running around sports grounds.
Yeah.
I swam for the first time a mile.
Yes. No, it's been an extraordinary thing, and you have been the most remorseless. Sometimes I would listen to the show, I think this can't be legal. This must break some kind of charter. No man can say the same thing again and again and still be paid for doing it. Really, I just want to say, as it were, from my heart, that I think that your show has always been fantastic, because when you wake up in the morning and things look grim, you guys make you feel as though life's okay. But for a lot of people, lives aren't okay. And you have actually physically, practically changed and saved really tens of thousands of lives. And I think the figure that we've said there is £10.4 million over the years, and we will be asking you for a tenner when we go.
Oh no, there is no doubt.
But really, you have made a fantastic difference. You've just been brilliant, remorseless, hilarious.
Well, thank you. That's such a sweet thing. So £10.4 million.
Phenomenal figure, isn't it?
Well, that's not us.
It's not us, it's the listeners. I mean, and that's the thing, and, you know, all the way through, what with the 52-hour show and everything that came beforehand, the generosity of the great British public whenever we've done something and rallied them together has been mind-blowing. So, really, this is about them, not us. That's fantastic.
It's also worth noting there are mainly £1 donations.
Yeah.
So it shows
Yeah.
how many of your listeners actually engage with it. It's brilliant.
Wow. Well, that's because our audience are great, you know, and they constantly have to hang their head in shame when they admit that they listen to the show, or lie and say that they don't like the show. I was very surprised when Richard first came into the studio and knew everybody on the show, and he goes, I listened to your show. That's my impression of you. I listened to you. And because I would have thought that Richard would have looked down upon such lowbrow council estate radio as ourselves.
God, I love you guys. And you just don't feel you have to talk if you haven't got anything to say. I often wake up, switch on the radio and think, oh, he's not on today. And then I realised I was just in the middle of a long pause while you were thinking of the next thing to say.
You might have been Googling something or whatever. That's how it works.
Oh, man, thank you. Well, do you know what? That's a nice thing that we've done, you know? our audience have always been like stupidly generous and have always done us very, very proud.
Just unbelievable. Oh yeah, and that's everyone at Comic Relief.
Oh, bless.
Who
Look at
loves
that,
you.
What a lovely card.
And I don't know whether it's apt to remind people of that documentary that you made. You made some documentaries out in Uganda, which were amazingly moving. In fact, I've just written a film, one chunk of which is based on the experiences that you had out there. And I think it's the great thing about all of you guys is you've been honest about, you've bullied people, say, go on, a quid doesn't matter. And you've been honest about your emotions. You haven't been sentimental. You've just been really in the spirit of Comic Relief, which is to have fun and say, oh, well, look, we can spare a quid here. And I think you've been amazing.
Well, thank you. That Kenya thing was made climbing a mountain a doddle, or running around the country and picking up checks from companies and dressing up like an idiot and all that. That was a very, very horrible day. But ultimately, you kind of need to see things like
Absolutely.
that to show things like that to try and help and change things. And I've not really spoken about that ever, just because there's not really a lot to say, is it? But anyway, back to us. Thank you very much.
Not at all. You're extremely welcome, and thank you for very, 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 very many years and days and months of fantastic broadcasting.
Oh, God love you.
We will miss you, and if things don't go as we hope, if things don't go as we hope, Comic Relief money is waiting for you at the end at the end of the trail. If you're a victim of elder abuse and if you're homeless and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's next for me.
All the cash you raised could, it'll be there waiting for you when times are hard.
Well, as soon as when I saw you, I'm like, oh my God, Richard's here. Oh, Kevin's here as well. And you only ever see Kevin, and this is true, when he's just moments away from asking you to do something. And my favourite was when we were in Kenya.
Already?
And he said, giving out the malaria nets with the money we'd raised from climbing the mountain. We're in Kenya, and he went, can I just have a little word? Because I'm leaving shortly. So we're thinking about doing a bike ride. And I went, Kevin, we're in Kenya now, doing things. He goes, I know. That is so true. You know it. You know what? I love doing stuff for Comic Relief. And what's nice about it is the fact that when you're asking people for money, it's you ask for £1 and the £1 gets spent, and that's what makes it easy, I think, for me and Dave to go, give us £1 and that £1 goes to Comic Relief, and it might be at the end of your street, or it might be the other side of the world to a place you've never been, or you don't even know where it is on the map, but it will get spent and it will make a difference. And everyone's our neighbour. That's the way I look at it. And
that's true.
It's a nice thing.
The British public are brilliant at that, And I've been out on the road and I've literally had mums with kids emptying their purse into my hand and sort of going, please just put that in the pot. And I said, you haven't got your money to get home. She goes, it's fine, I'll just walk home, and stuff like that. And people giving you tenner out of white van windows and stuff at the lights saying, please, lads, take that.
That was meant to go to Comic Relief.
It did go to Comic Relief.
I didn't realise. I thought if we were off the bus...
tote talk.
Yeah, that's... wow. 1%'s not a lot to ask.
But no, the British public are brilliant.
Well, that's always been the deal. And so, thanks very much to everyone who's made Chris look good for the last years. It's been an absolute triumph, and we're thrilled and honoured to be here on your last day. And thanks for everything.
And thank you to Kevin and Gary for asking me to climb Kilimanjaro, because if it wasn't for that, I'd still be 18 stone. So
that's very true, yeah.
There was even I got something out of it.
They were helping you to help yourself.
And X Factor final tickets forever. That's sorted now. Be it Cheryl or Gary. So, and have you edited your time traveller movie? Because if there's
right in the middle of it.
If there's any scenes you need with any aspiring actors,
there's a really important scene where we need the sound of a really vibrant morning DJ in the background, but I'm afraid you're not.
Dave?
That anymore.
Right.
Whose number could we give him?
Yeah.
Wogan.
No.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Richard. I love you. I'm a massive fan of you. How much I get giddy around you. And Kevin, all the stuff we've done for Comic Relief is merely a drop in the ocean of all the work you do. you know, we all think you're getting something out of it somewhere. You know, you can't genuinely be doing it because you're a nice guy.
Yeah, no one's that nice.
It's certainly not a clothing budget, is
It's
it?
really not. I love it.
Okay, lots of love, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. Very sweet. Wow. What do you want to do?
I'm going to come.
Ad.
All right, okay. I'm going to play a little advert and then we'll come back.
Are you fed up of being short? Do chicks tease you about your lack of height? Well, if that's the case, then you need new high shoes. High shoes are just shoes that are really high. Designed using the latest in circus still technology, high shoes can boost your height by up to 10 inches. So no more being a short ass and no more staring at people's crotch neither. With new high shoes, you'll be walking tall, way above it all. High shoes. Get up there. High shoes should not be worn when entering helicopters, walking under low bridges, or in areas exposed to crosswinds.
Tell you what, that's a massive screw you to the haters that the listeners to the Chris Moyles Show, the morons, have helped raise almost £10.5 million.
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
Staggering.
Wow. Our listeners are the best.
They are, they're fantastic.
They are the best. The best, Al. They're the best. Al! I don't really know what to say about that.
That was
really nice to come in.
yeah.
When I
amazing.
first saw him, I thought, oh, yes, he's bringing Blackadder back and Rowan doesn't want to do it anymore. No. Lovely. Well done to all our listeners. You are ace. Now can we do the news?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's...
Well,
That's
hang on.
not the news.
Have you not heard the news yet? That's the new. That's Grimmy's new news in.
It's more relaxed, isn't it?
So back in January 2004, we started this show, and we thought we'd make a little jingle for the start of the show, and we got carried away and ended up making the longest radio jingle ever. And I'm going to play some of that jingle after the news. I need to say in advance, it was of its time. There are a few lines in there that I would change now if I had a chance, purely on a rhyming level only. Goodbye to Zoe, see you later to Cox, as in Sarah.
Yeah.
Your contract has expired, so get back in your box. It was merely a line back in the day. And I think obviously Sarah
No
knows
offence
that, you know,
caused.
I love her. So we're going to play this. It's the jingle that started the show back in the day. We're going to play it after the news.